After color comes text. And when we're talking about text styles, they work very similarly. So you would have something, for example, as a title. What I like to do, and again, it depends on your preference, your experiences with design, with working with other developers and so on. But I do like to create the styles with the font size, line height in mind, character spacing in mind, like all of those things. With title, I'm not really going to have paragraphs of text, so I'm not worried too much about it. And also with font size and line height, I do like to kind of think about where it's going to be used before I decide on those sizes. So since I'm working a lot on dashboards and kind of design system like products that actually require it, not websites, I do kind of consider titles to often be just in one row of a screen when you're working with web applications, for example. So what I like to do is I like to make the line height the same size as my buttons would be, because in a lot of cases I'm going to have the title on the left side and then a couple of buttons and actions on the right side of that screen. But again, if I were talking about websites, I would most likely make titles a lot bigger, and I would also consider that titles on the websites can go from like 1 to 3 lines of text often. So there, if I had something like, maybe that's going to be too big. Again, depending on like what page and where it's going to be used. And I'm probably going to have more than one title if I'm working with websites, so I'd probably have something like this as the line height there, because title example goes into more than one line of text. You can see that it's still very legible in here, and I'd probably make the character spacing a little bit smaller in here to account for like very big text that is in here. But yeah, let's go back to the original size I had, and I would probably have one title. Then maybe I'd have something like a subtitle in here as well. It could be something like this. Then I would most likely need some kind of a large paragraph of text size. Honestly, with dashboard, it's more likely going to be something like this. I can also make this medium or semi-bold paragraph / body. And here, when it comes to those types of text, I would add paragraph spacing. I do like to make it half of the line height, just because then it means if we have something like this, this is an example body text that represents a paragraph. And if we had that same line of text in here, you can see that one line of text shouldn't really fit in between these two and still be legible. So I do like to make that really clear, and I think it's even better like this. You can really see and notice the difference between what is like one section, one paragraph of this text versus the other one. And you can play around with it depending on like some of the other factors. Maybe it needs to be a little bit smaller. As you know, I do like to make my line heights divisible by 4. So if I had something like this, I wouldn't make this maybe 10. I would either make it 8 or 12, since that's divisible by 4, which on web applications and mobile applications I do like to have, because I need more flexibility when it comes to spacing than when on websites I would most likely just have something that's divisible by 8. Again, a lot of like little things that I consider when I'm making these, and some of them are more connected to actually how to work with typography, or in the previous lesson how to work with colors. And if you want to learn more about those topics, again, we do have a typography course and a color course, so just keep those things in mind. But I'm also going to share a couple of tips in this course, because this is Advanced Figma course, and a lot of these things you need to understand to be able to make decisions in here. So yeah, I'm gonna add paragraph spacing. I'm not gonna play around with these options at all, since I can still switch the text alignment whenever I need to, and that's gonna be not dependent on the text style. And just for demo purposes, we can have another really small style in here that's gonna be more like regular, but it's gonna be like description. Okay, so when we're making a style, we're gonna go in here, similar to how colors worked, and we would have something like, I do like to group things, so maybe headings, and this one is gonna be a title, and in here headings, and this is gonna be a subtitle, and then body text paragraph, and body text description. And now, besides our color styles in here that you can see expanded, you can collapse them if needed, we also have text styles in here. And immediately when you're looking at things, you can see that you can have some kind of a preview of how the text looks like. You see how it's named, and you also see the font size and the line height in here. Now, what I wanted to mention when I was talking about these things is you can see in here, you can still control the alignment of everything, and you have some more advanced options in here. But I did mention that I do like to work with actual numbers in here. Some designers prefer working with percentages, and that's completely fine. Again, you just need to take it into account, and that's all. So even if you have it in a percentage, it's going to work with your styles. If you need to make some changes, again, you can drag them around however you need to. You can go inside and kind of double click and rename it. In here, you can add additional descriptions, and you can go inside and actually change things. So instead of this, you notice that you want to use a different weight, or you need to think about some of these other advanced options that we have when it comes to type. All of those things are going to be saved in here. You can have it like that. Yeah, I honestly think that's all that's connected to typography styles. If you understand how color works, I'm guessing that typography styles are not going to confuse you too much anyways. And when it comes to naming tips, I do like to kind of be consistent in the way that I'm naming stuff, but it wouldn't be the same for a website and for a web application or mobile application, also knowing that some of those require more styles than the other. And with these things, especially with paragraph, I might have a style for paragraph bold, I might have a style for paragraph link, just to have all of those things covered, and that when I'm working with design, none of the things are actually changing. Because if I go in here and I bold this, then you're gonna see that the text actually is kind of a mixed content, and in here it's okay, but in here it's broken, and I don't like to have broken style, so I would probably call this paragraph bold, and I would have it like that. And still in here you're gonna see that it's kind of mixed content, but in here now we have paragraph bold. I'm just going to drag it in here into body text, and when you tap on either of one, they're still styles. The biggest power in Figma comes in with actually combining different text styles and color styles together. So you can also do that as well. So this element now, if you go in here and you decide to change the color of this primary color, maybe it wasn't the primary, maybe it was this one. Yeah, it was that one. You can see how it's applied everywhere. And if you decide to change a text style, it's changed in here too. So, yeah, let's see you in another lesson.